All right, so WarioWare Get It Together out now on the Nintendo Switch, and its big gimmick is that you can play the same mini games with different characters, and depending on the character you're playing, the experience can be very different. So we have played through the whole game and are going to rank the characters based on how good they are within the context of the game. There are characters that I think look great but aren't necessarily the best to play as, or they're really confusing to use. So we're focusing on like the top tier characters. When you're building your crew of 3, like, who do you want on there? Or if you could play any of these mini games with just one character, who is the one you want? And I think we'll start with Wario, the main character of the game. I think that Wario is pretty solid. He has a jetpack, so he can fly in any direction he wants. And he has the shoulder charge, which is, it's a good move. It travels a good distance, but it can only hit left to right. I think for the mobility, it's going to be up here, but because it only hits in 2 directions, I'm going to put Wario at a solid A tier for now. Again, as I'm building this, I may make adjustments as we go, but I think Wario feels good in A. Very solid character. The next character we run into, I'm off the top of my head, I'm going to try and do these in order that we see them, but I may jump here and there as I forget how these go. Cricket! So Cricket, definitely not the most imaginative character in the game. Cricket is a character who's basically the Super Mario of the game, can run left and right, can jump really high. Maybe not the most ambitious, but I think because of the familiarity that many players, gamers of all sorts have with platforming characters, I think this is a solid character overall. I think they're going to be A. Since there is an S tier, I think we're going to reserve that for like the best of the best. I could possibly put Cricket in S. I might even put Cricket... I'm going to put Cricket just below Wario for the time being. Then we ran into 18 Volt. 18 Volt is one of the more unorthodox characters in the game. He sits still and shoots discs from its head, and you can hit at a, shoot in all 360 degrees. And there are very specific cases where you want the shot instead of moving the character because you don't have to move into harm's way. But the lack of mobility, I think, really hurts this character, and having to traverse around stages by grabbing onto the rings can be really... It can be a struggle. That said, I do like playing this character, so I'm going to put them in B for now, but I would say they're like B to C tier, generally speaking. Now we're going to run into Mona, and she's got the boomerang. She herself can't move, and she's moving in all crazy directions. Not being able to stop is kind of a problem, and she does have a boomerang though, so kind of like 18 Volt, she can throw a projectile to hit stuff without putting herself in harm's way, but then you have to toggle between controlling the boomerang versus controlling her, so she's a little more unwieldy. I don't think she's a C or D tier character, but we'll go with B below 18 Volt for the time being. Who else do we have? Around here, we also run into 9 Volt. And this character is getting dunked right into the D tier. Quite possibly the worst character in the game. They roll on a skateboard and they're stuck to the ground, and they move very fast across the ground. And the only action they can perform is shoot the yo-yo straight up. And it's very hard to aim the yo-yo. So you can't control the character. Hard to aim the yo-yo. Huge pain in the butt. I don't like 9 Volt at all. So they are bottom tier. Who else do we run into? So we have Kat and Anna, who are pretty much the same character. They bounce, jump up and down constantly, and you can control their shots. I think they are okay, but the fact that they keep jumping is a bit of a problem for me. It can be hard to aim the shots, but it's not quite as bad as a 9 Volt or 18 Volt. So I think Kat and Anna will go in the C tier for the time being. Who do we want to tackle? Dribble and Spits, I think, are... We can do them next if we're going to do the pairs. So Dribble and Spits, they are kind of like Cat and Anna, where one shoots left, one shoots right. The difference is Cat and Anna jump, and Dribble and Spits have the benefit of being able to fly in any direction they want. So they're both at least B tier characters. They might actually be... Ooh, would I put them in A? But then would I bump Wario and Cricket up to S? I have a feeling B might get a little crowded. We're going to go with B for now, and I probably like... I mean, Dribble is definitely easier to use than Mona. Do I think they're better than Mona, though? I'm going to say no. I think Dribble and Spits are probably a little worse than Mona. Definitely better than Cat and Anna. So we'll stick with that for now. Who else do we have here? Let's go with Jimmy. So Jimmy's whole deal is that he's on the ground and he can 8-way dash in the air. You have to press A and then it dashes in that direction. Having that mobility is pretty good. You do have to tap it with the dash though, so it's a little clunky, but it is pretty versatile in where he can move. So Jimmy's probably going to be an A tier, just below Cricket, just because of the unwieldiness at times of having to dash around. Okay, here we go. Ashley, a great character. This character, I think, has it all. She can fly in any direction, and she's got an 8-way shot, so she can hit stuff without getting in harm's way. 8 directions is, you know, maybe it's not the full 360, but I find that in most games, Ashley is great, if not the best. And because of that, I think she's S tier. I think this is the best character in WarioWare. So where do the rest go from here then? I think Orbulon is pretty solid, being able to fly around and suck things up. I think definitely better than 18 Volt. Do I like them better than Jimmy though? I don't think so, because Jimmy can hit from anywhere, like at any angle, and Orbulon can only really impact stuff going down, like sucking that up. So it's a little harder to use. Actually, you know what? I might put Orbulon a little lower because I do like the... Oh, no. I would put Orbulon above 18 Volt, but I don't know if I would put Orbulon in A. So we're going to go at the top of B tier for the time being. Other characters. So another downward character, Red. Instead of sucking things up, drops bombs, does have 8-way flight. I think I'm probably more comfortable with the concept of dropping the bombs than sucking things up. So we're going to go with Red at the bottom of A tier for the time being. Ooh, there's going to be a lot of crowding in the middle. I do think that there's not a lot of differentiation. Well, it's definitely different to play, but other characters. Okay, let's go with this. 5 Volt. 5 Volt is very difficult to use. I think she has a lot of potential if you can get a hold of how to teleport from place to place, but there are definitely things where you need to bump an object and then you have to teleport at just the right spot where it like lets you do the thing. But I don't like her very much. I think she's better than 9 Volt, but I don't think she's as usable as like Cat and Anna. So we're gonna go with C tier here for that. Mantis. So one could say Mantis is the better version of Cricket, like automatically, because Mantis has the ability to stick to the ceiling and walk along the ceiling. I actually think it's a detriment. The way that the controls work there, it's very easy to accidentally hold the A button a little too long and have Mantis stick to the ceiling when you don't want him to. Do I still think it's a good character? He's a good character, absolutely. Where would that go? I think that I would probably still rather play Mantis. Ooh, I'm gonna say here. in between 18 Volt and Mona. Yeah, we'll do that. Couple more characters. We've got, let's go with Mike. Mike is pretty solid, kind of the inverse of Red and Orbulon. 8-way flight, it shoots upward. It's a pretty straightforward move, and I feel like shooting up ends up being a little more helpful than shooting down. So Mike is going to go just above Red. Couple more characters. Krygor, getting to swim in any direction, also being able to hit in any direction. I actually think Krygor is very good, and we're going to put Krygor just above Jimmy in that A tier. A tier is getting, yeah, these tiers pretty crowded. Down here C is not as full, but we'll get to that. Lulu, we played with her for a little bit. She has the ability to double jump in the air, and she's fairly easy to control, pretty versatile. I do like her a lot. And then she does have the ground pound as well. Ooh, where would I put her? But she doesn't fly per se. I think definitely better than 19 Volt. I probably like her better than Orbulon. Do I like her better than Red? I think so. I think so. Yeah. Not as much as Mike, though. Okay. And then two more characters. We've got Penny and Pirro. Penny is the second last character we unlock in the game, and I think she has a ton of potential. The ability to float in the air and then shoot water in any direction, crazy powerful, and she can move all the way around the screen. But her controls and like her you have to switch between two different modes, and her main movement mode requires you to control her backwards, right? So you're aiming left to push her right. And because of that, it's really tricky to use her. I do think she has a ton of potential. I would put her in, I think I might have to make some adjustments here. I think we're gonna put her at, I don't like playing this character, but I think she's good if you can master her. So we're gonna put her here, and then we're gonna put Dribble and Spits down to the C tier. And then the last character, Pirro. I've played a little bit of this character outside of that demo sequence we saw at the end, and Pirro can't jump. Pirro instead walks along the ground and then shoots its tongue out at 245-degree angles, and it can reflect off walls and let you grab weird things. It's very awkward. I don't think it's the worst character in the game, but it is very awkward to use. Definitely a learning curve, and it feels like it's not as useful in most cases. So I think that Pirro is going to sit probably below 5 Volt. I think that 5 Volt does have more potential and can get more done than a Pirro can. Pirro might be the star of a different game, but I do think that Pirro is not a great character. So overall, there's the look at my WarioWare Get It Together tier list. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments what you think. And yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, hit the bell for the notifications and all of that jazz. And thanks for watching.